Thoughts on the Red Sox at this hour, Mazz?
So last night was the kind of win that you don't see very often with the Red Sox anymore, which is score early, pitcher shuts down the opposition. You're pretty much on cruise control the whole way through. There was very little stress in that game. And look, they have hit a little bit more the last couple of nights. So, they're really going back to the last series. So it feels like they're straightening out a little bit. I think that's the good sign. Now it's finished the job. You got one more game to go, and they could clinch by the time they take the field tonight. If Houston loses this afternoon, it's over. And so good for them for taking the first two. Take all the drama out of it and get your team ready for the playoffs.
Here's what people should feel the best about watching them the last couple of nights, if you don't suck, like Mazz said yesterday. If you compare them to the team that they're playing, that they went into this place, and that the Blue Jays have the best record in the American League, they look so loose compared to the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays are tight. You want to be hot and loose at the right time of year if you're going to get into the playoffs, which it feels like they're going to now. That's a good sign. And Crochet was the balls last night.
Yeah, a little bit of the underdog thing working for him probably. What do we have to lose?
Yeah, and look, there are ramifications, too, for this, and I don't know how people feel about it.
Do you want Toronto or New York in the wild card round?
So I think I want New York. I still don't like the idea of playing up in Toronto in the playoffs.
Why?
They haven't done well against them this year, and I know the Blue Jays are a mess right now, but that can all change when the playoffs start. And Toronto does have a couple of good pitchers. I like Barrios. I know he has not pitched well, and they had him in the bullpen last night. So clearly they're down on Barrios, but I feel like he's pretty good. Gossman gives them fits. So I will take the Yankees' stupidity over the Blue Jays at the moment. But, if there's no Bichette and the Blue Jays pitching is like it is right now, they can beat either one of them. And this, again, was the whole point. Just get in and see what happens. You don't know. There isn't a dominant team in the league with the possible exception of Seattle. Okay, let's see what happens with Seattle down the road. But everyone else, the Red Sox are right there with them. All those teams are on the same level. So at the end of the day, you're asking me Yankees or Blue Jays. I don't know that there's really that much difference. The Yankees might be a tougher opponent right now, but they're playing garbage competition, so it's hard to gauge.
Yeah, but there's some wind in their sails. Again, this tightness thing you're seeing with Toronto these last couple of nights, here they are blowing the division. If you get them, you have their heads spinning right now, so I think they're full of doubt. I would take Toronto.
How about Garrett Crochet with 100 pitches last night? I don't think it's a big deal, but I brought this up. Like, how many times have I seen them take this guy out? 6th inning, 7th inning, 85 pitch. They're so closely monitoring the guy. Now the game's over. The playoffs are here, and they let him go 100 pitches? I was just sort of surprised by that.
They needed the game.
Okay, they were up 7-0. When he came out for the 8th inning, they were up 7-0, I believe.
Right. I think they let him go that far because there wasn't any stress. It was an easy 8 innings. I mean, it was easy. Usually you don't get to you get to 100 in the 6th or 7th. And he didn't, he had a really low pitch count. He had a lot of easy innings. And they factor that in, too. And I'm not even talking about the ups and downs. I'm just talking about how much did you have to work.
Yeah.
Right. How much did you have to work while you were on the mound? He didn't have to work much.
Well, either way, 5 days of rest. Game 1, Tuesday night in Toronto or New York.
I mean, suddenly
Here we go.
Yeah. It feels like it's taken a turn, right? And I think that this is what the American League is this year. You look at them on one day and you say, they can't hit, they're screwed, they're not going to beat anybody. Then they play another team who's in it and looks like dog crap, and you say they can beat that team. And I think that's what the whole league is.
I think it's the whole league.
It is. The whole league is garbage.
It's not just the American League, it's baseball.
There's a lot of crap out there. Really. Again, the Mets, look at what the Mets are in. They're the second wild card right now, and they suck. Did you see some of their highlights from last night?
Yes.
Stink-o-rama.
How about Detroit?
Again, falling apart.
They're
completely crumbling. So the whole league is going to crap. All you got to do is play half decent and you can win.
Matthew in Florida on the Red Sox. Hi, Matthew.
Drake May, we get into him.
Couldn't agree more with Mazz when he said yesterday, what are Red Sox fans doing not getting excited for this team? I get that Roman Anthony's hurt, and obviously that was a huge loss. I'm not saying that wasn't a huge loss, but Mazz is also right that the strength of this team is not in the bats. It's in the high-end pitching. And in the playoffs, when one game is of a heightened importance, and you have the best guy in the league going on the mound in Garrett Crochet, and you probably have the two best bullpen pitchers in Whitlock and Chapman in the back end, I don't see how you can't win it. My question to you guys is, in a wild card or in division series, who's your number two? Do you roll with Bayo or Giolito, who have been there all year, or do you go with Early or
Bayo? Not even close.
I mean, Giolito's fallen off here in the last couple of weeks.
I might go with Early third. Let me think about that.
Yeah, seriously.
I want to see how that shakes out. Like, he's got another one to make here. But Bayo, absolutely Bayo. He's got the better stuff. And I'll take that. I think Giolito's kind of fading. That's what it feels like. Now, if he pitches a great one in his next one, then you can reassess. But right now, Bayo.
And I don't know if this is what Mazz was talking about yesterday, but it's what I'll say. I think there are fans that just aren't. Maybe it's all the winning here, or the Patriots especially, that if they're not a favorite or you don't think they're going to do anything, you don't really invest because, we're going to lose anyway. Like that is a front-running way of following sports that I am just the opposite.
Yeah.
To me,
I think it's a loser way of looking at it.
When you're not expected to win and you win, those are the best ones. And I almost invest more when my team is in that spot versus the favorite spot. And but look, I can't tell you how to feel. For me, it's almost just the opposite.
Yeah, and look, the winning thing doesn't typically happen overnight. It felt that way here for a while, because especially with the Red Sox, because they went from worst to first to worst to worst to first. It kept going back and forth. But it doesn't, usually there is a little bit of a buildup. You get a little bit better every year. You get a little bit closer, and then you're ready. And so let them get closer. There's nothing wrong with that.
Anthony and Natick, go.
Hey, speaking as an enthusiastic Red Sox fan, I just want to know, how does the story turn? Like, they're going to make the playoffs, right? I think everybody can agree on that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm finding myself unsure of, once they make it, if they just, falter and collapse in, the two games, if I'm still going to write this season off as a success, or if I'm going to hold them accountable to sucking. Because I think so much emphasis is they just got to get in. They just got to get in. And I know it's loser talk, but I'm curious to see what you guys think. If they're just getting in and then they suck.
No, let me tell you, Anthony, I'll cut you off. Thank you for the question. This is about word choice. It's kind of semantics, but this is how I would put it. Making the playoffs is meeting expectations for me. That doesn't mean it's a success. It means you got to level. You got to where you should have gotten to. I'm not going to give you any extra points, and I'm not going to rip you. You did what you should, but nothing more. If they win around, I'd say, okay. But at this point, Mazz, whether it's Toronto or New York, don't you kind of expect them to win that series?
Yes, so they have as good a chance as the opposition is how I would put it.
And then I think it's kind of weird. The way the bracket works is that I think Toronto or New York is going to either be the number one seed or the wild card.
Yeah, they're going to be 1 or 4.
If I'm not mistaken.
I think that is right.
Okay, so the way the bracket works.
I mean, Seattle could catch them. Seattle's at 89 now, so they're
And what
close.
are those teams at?
90.
Okay, so.
But the way it looks as of today.
Let me put it to you like this. If it started today, you start at Toronto, and then if you win, you go to New York.
Right.
I think that's the way it goes. The bracket.
That's correct.
Right now, Toronto has the division.
Okay, so then you start at New York, and if you beat New York, you go to Toronto.
Correct. You'd have to play both of them.
In baseball, it's a bracket. They don't reseed. The number one seed plays the winner of the 4-5.
Right.
Right now, you're 5.
Right.
Toronto or New York would be 4. The other one is the number one seed. So your path is at Toronto, at New York, or vice versa.
Yeah,
Correct.
some permutation of those two teams.
Unless Seattle catches them, and then we'll change that.
Right. But it's almost like the NHL. You got to play your way out of the division this year. Right now, that's what it is.
I like their chances.
Don't you like their chances in both those series?
Yes. Yes, put it this way. I don't dislike their chances. If you want to tell me it's 50-50, because they're all in the same ballpark. The Red Sox are 87 wins. Toronto and the Yankees are 90. The Red Sox won the season series against the Yankees. They've beaten the Blue Jays 2 nights in a row. The Blue Jays are fading. Like, I think it's all level ground.
And then, as you've said, like if they were to get to the championship series and say it's Seattle, I mean, Seattle has the weight of history on them. They've never won a pennant. They've never made a World Series.
And Murray, you might have Anthony back by then.
Right.
Now,
right.
And again, I don't know what he's going to be like, but wait and see. So what I would say to the caller is this. What's the ultimate verdict going to be? You don't know yet. This is an unusual year. Okay, it's an unusual year. It's not like they had this wagon coming out that you said it's World Series or bust. What you knew is they should be here, as you said. What happens next? Judge it when you see it. You don't have to decide that right now, but you'll know when you go in. They are capable of winning the first 2 rounds. That's how I look at it right now. Would I favor them? It's close, but close is good enough. You can win.
We've seen plenty of the Yankees. We've now started to see plenty of the Blue Jays. Those are winnable series.
Absolutely.
I mean, that is, I don't know how else you would look at that one.
See, the problem is with all the winning, and I know you touched on this, you have in your head this image of what a championship team looks like. This team doesn't meet it. I agree with you. The league blows. The league blows. You can beat anyone out there. They all feel the same way. None of the fans in those other markets are looking at their teams saying, we're not good enough this year. It's the same crap everywhere.